Hi, this is Tom Soane and welcome to another episode of the Anonymous Landlord. Just a quick one today, and I want to give all landlords one simple mindset shift, or just one little shift in your landlording lifestyle that will help you become more profitable, and actually I think will make your landlording life more simple, but it will also take that one step towards becoming the anonymous landlord, which first you've got to become the investor landlord, and then you can become the anonymous landlord. But this one little step really helps a lot of landlords become investor landlords and become much more profitable, much more organized, and be able to forecast and compound their profits to be able to grow and make more profit. And it's a really simple mindset shift. All I want you to do is have a trigger which will make you look at a few individual numbers relating to your rent income and your expenditure. Just as simple as that. And it's just a trigger. Now, for some people, they schedule that on the 1st of every month, that's when they reconcile all the transactions to do with their property portfolio. Some people have got one property, some people have got multiple properties. It doesn't matter, it's the same rule. And for some people it works that on the 1st of each month they reconcile all their transactions. And that simply means maybe you can use a spreadsheet, maybe a piece of paper, it doesn't matter, it's all the same thing. But I use a spreadsheet for an example, and I put the number, which is just the rent income for the month. So let's say £1,000 rent income received and £500 expenditure. And I do list each individual expenditure. You don't have to, but I do, because I like to track the cost of everything, which I'll explain in a second why I do that. But simple as that. So you'll have £1,000 rent received, £500 expenditure, and then like I say, I individually list those. So for me, it might be £1,000 rent received, £400 mortgage payment, £100 management, £80 maintenance, £20 insurance. And then I'll list any other transaction that's been deducted from my rent. So maybe I've had a gas safety certificate. So it might be, I don't know, 50 quid for gas safety certificate. And I'll list that in there. And if you do that every month, what you'll see at the end of that month is, oh, great, I've made, I can't remember the numbers now, but, oh, great, I've made £350 of profit. Brilliant. And if you do that every single month for every single property, then you start to see where you can make improvements, and you start to see how much profit you're actually making. Now, what might happen is, along the way, a couple of years down the line, you might then be able to remortgage or refinance your property and improve that mortgage payment. You might be able to increase the rent. You might be able to improve your insurance payments, improve your management costs. Maybe you notice there's quite a lot of maintenance jobs happening at that property. Have a look at what those maintenance jobs are and see if there's an ongoing problem that can be resolved. But you can't really do that unless you have a quick look. It literally takes 5 minutes maximum, because it's all on your bank statement, it's all on your statement from your letting agent, which just shows you what has been deducted from the rent, what's been received, what's been paid out, and then your bank statement will show you what the mortgage payment was, what the insurance payment was, and so on. And if you've taken my advice, I did a video a little while ago, which is just a couple of little tips for becoming an investor landlord, how to use your accounts, how to do your tax accounting, and so on and so on. Then you'll know that I say that you should have a separate bank account for your property, for your rent and your property expenditure and so on. I definitely believe that. For this is also helped by that as well, because then you can see all your transactions in one place. So yeah, I'll kind of go backwards a little bit here, because I said about having a trigger, and that's really important, having a trigger. Where I fall down personally is I find it difficult to say that on the 1st of every month I will do this task. I find that quite difficult to stick to. So my trigger is whenever I receive the notification from my letting agency, all right, it's my letting agency, but I still abide by the same rules as every other landlord that I have, which is how I've been able to build the letting agency. I build it for me as a landlord and what I would want as a landlord. So when the notification hits my phone, I get a text message to say your rent has been received. I treat that as the trigger. Okay, brilliant, rent received, let's reconcile. So every single month, as soon as that rent is received, then I reconcile the transactions for that month and I put them into my spreadsheet. Reconcile, by the way, if you don't know what that is, it just means that you assess, if you like, you check each individual transaction that's come in, and then like maybe you might see all your transactions and you might just confirm, yeah, that's what this is, yeah, well that's what that is. Anyway, so that's my trigger. So when the rent comes in, admittedly I don't do this myself anymore, but I did. And maybe you could have somebody else do that for you as well. But really what I'm trying to get to is your mindset shift is that you must reconcile all of the transactions, all of the money in and money out every single month. And a really good way to get yourself into that habit is by using the rent income as a trigger. Now, your letting agent should notify you by text and email, or either or both, that your rent is received, it's been paid to you, and that's a really good trigger. Alternatively, there are other people that prefer to have a set period of time every single month at the same time, so you can get into a routine with it. That doesn't work for me, but it will work for a lot of people. I'm just weird, I suppose, but yeah, that's another one. And also remember, it doesn't need to be crazy complicated. If you're going to set a period of time on the first day of every single month to reconcile your rents, it takes literally no more than 5 minutes per property, no more than that, because all you're doing is you're writing rent received £1,000, and then you're writing mortgage payment, insurance payment, and all the other payments, mortgage payment, insurance payment, management, maintenance jobs, anything else that you might be paying for out of that rent, relating to the property as well. Don't include things that you've taken for yourself. Don't include stuff maybe you've spent out of that account. None of that is included. What you're doing is reconciling the property. And a lot of those payments are going to be the same every single month, so you can already pre-populate that. Because like mortgage payment, for an example, if you've got, say, a 2-year fixed rate, then your mortgage payment is going to be the same for 2 years. So you can just stretch that payment every month across the whole 2 years in your spreadsheet or on your piece of paper or whatever it may be. I know landlords that still use ledger books, you know, like you remember the old school ledger books? Hey, whatever works for everybody. The point is that at the end of each month, you should be able to very quickly and easily see, this is how much profit I've made. And that will help you identify where you can improve, of course, but it'll also help you understand your own profit, because don't forget, the profit is your income, really. That's what's yours. Now, if you put a spreadsheet together correctly, it's a very simple spreadsheet. And by the way, if you want to use mine, just let me know. It's such a simple spreadsheet, but there's a couple of simple formulas in there that help you analyze cash flow forecasting, as well as profit per month, as well as forecasted profits. Yeah, so it's a pretty simple way of doing that. So what I guess I'm getting at with all of this is to get yourself into the mindset of your property every month should be reconciled by you to help you shift into that investor mindset. And I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on that over the coming time, because I think becoming an investor in your own mind will help you make more profit. And it's okay to make profit, right? You are entitled to make profit. You've invested wisely. You need to make profit. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you think, and I will speak to everybody later.